This is my testimony on my rebuke from the Most High over the 144,000. And I guess that's one of the reasons why this topic has been so dear to me, and I've spent so many hours researching it and praying about it. And like everyone else that I know, I have always wondered about the 144,000 in the Bible. I had heard many things over the years in the churches that I grew up in. I heard that they were Jews. No. Another group said, no, they're all Christians. Then another group said they're all men. And then some even said, no, they have to be all children because they're virgins. And so on and so on. But either way, the 144,000 to me appeared to be a very coveted group. And everyone wanted to be a part of it. So in around 2010, probably around October, I remember praying constantly and asking the Most High, who were these people? Who were the 144,000? And I wanted to know if there were women in the group. So one day I was on my knees, on my face in prayer about this and many other things. And the Most High spoke to me and told me that I was Israel. At that point, I had no idea that I was Israel, and that I was one of the blood descendants of Israel or Jacob. The exact message that he said, you are Israel, one of the blood descendants of Jacob, Israel. Now, I was so ecstatic when I heard this, when he spoke to me. I just burst out into tears of joy and happiness because this was a total new revelation to me. So I was so excited. I told my family. I went home and I told my mother, my sisters, my brothers. I called in the cousins and I said, we're Israelites. We are the true Jews. The Most High, the God of heaven, has revealed this to me himself. And it is correct, brothers and sisters. There's no doubt about it. We are Israel. I am an Israelite. I heard this from the Most High. He spoke to me himself. So now let's get back to my testimony. So when this information was revealed to me, that is, me being an Israelite, I immediately assumed that I must be one of the 144,000, because remember, I was praying about that. And because I love the Most High with all my heart and soul, and my goal in life at that time, and since I can remember, has been to be obedient and to serve him in every way that I possibly could. So I figured I must be one of the 144,000. And on top of that, there was nothing in my life that I would put before the Most High. He was everything in my life. So with all of that said, in my mind, it must mean that I was one of the 144,000. I guess maybe you can see where I got that. Even though when he spoke to me, this is what he said. He said that I was an Israelite, and he said that I was the seed of Jacob and Israel. Jacob/Israel. Now, my question to you is, can you be a God-fearing, Christ-believing, Jacob-descending Israelite and not be part of the 144,000 spoken of in the Bible? Well, yes, you can. But now back to my testimony. As I stated earlier, I just knew that I was one of the 144,000, even to the point that I started telling people, I am one of the 144,000. God told me that himself. I mean, I wrote it on some of the comments. I even revealed it to many YouTubers out there, and some of them you know, and some of you may have seen my comments saying that I was one of the 144,000. I don't think I was bragging, but I do admit I was trying to use that information to gain credibility for the things that I would say, when I wrote comments and so forth. But in my mind, I thought it was true because I had gone through this logical deduction, and so I didn't think I was fabricating at that time. Well, early one morning, I was just lying in bed and just thinking, and the Most High spoke audibly, very clearly to me, and he said, "Daughter, I never told you that you were one of the 144,000. My heart just sank. Believe me, brothers and sisters, I was shaken to my core. My mind started to reeling. My heart sunk, and I just felt horrible. I just felt broken. I saw myself as someone who has misrepresented what my father had said to me. And it became crystal clear at that point in my mind exactly what he had said to me. He brought it back to me exactly as he said it. And I could not doubt it because I knew that's what he said. It broke my heart. I mean, even to the point that, as I'm speaking this, I'm almost welling up. I had been rebuked by the Father. I felt naked and exposed by his Spirit. I never want to feel that way again. I never want to do that again. I have learned my lesson. And from that time on, I have been so very careful to make sure that I understand exactly what is said to me when I receive messages from the Lord. And I guess I'm so critical when others say that the Most High has said something. I will quickly say, tell me, what exactly did he say? Because, see, I know what I was guilty of. And I know that if I'm guilty of it, some others may be guilty of it. And the thing about it is when we take and run with what we want to hear based on what he says, that's when we end up being disappointed. Because many of the interpretations that we get from what we think God has said, he has really not said that. This is what we wanted to hear. So I ask people when they tell me that the Most High, I say, what exactly was the message? What did he say to you? Let me hear it without your interpretations or anything that you want to add. Because I know from my experience, and even knowing it, we can add, and even knowing that, we can add and take away from the words of the Most High without even trying it. And it is a serious offense. So I'm not telling anyone else that I am one of the 144,000. And if any of those hear this video, and if I have mentioned it and I have said that, and you know that I have, I ask you to forgive me because I have repented of that. And I never ever want to do that again. And I ask you to forgive me if I have misled you in any way. The Most High knows who the 144,000 are. But we're not to be worried about that. We're just to hold on to know that he is going to save us if we put our faith in him. So shalom, brothers and sisters, and I just wanted to share my testimony with you because sometimes these things can be hard.